Hello, Internet, and welcome to Wonderworld Origins. We are back, had a little bit of a hiatus, and ready and kicking for our our wrap up of this show, our conclusion of the story we've been telling. So thank you for watching, and if you've been along for the whole ride, thank you for enjoying it and coming along this journey with us. If you're coming in kind of partway through and you have no idea what's going on, all our episodes are up on YouTube. But this is sort of it's been a superhero masks campaign. We have been telling a story kind of originating the original Wonderworld that we did like 2 years ago, year and a half ago at this point, using the Cypher system. And so it's been a lot of really fun storytelling, kind of collaborative process, with both myself running some games and Ryan running the rest. But yeah, so before we get into that and get into the show tonight, couple of announcements. So we have coming up in the next week or so, we will have the next session of Lords of Misrule on Saturday at 3 o'clock Eastern time this weekend. And that's all I have to say about that. On next Thursday, I know a week ago or a couple weeks back, I said we were going to be doing back-to-back and doing 2 episodes of Wonderworld in a row. I think we're going to actually have the next one of this on the 11th. So next week would be a match point week, doing our alternating schedule, trying to stick with that. So come out next Thursday and watch Sven and I play some more goofy games. We also have another episode of Cyberscape that's going to be going up. We're in the process of uploading. It should go up tonight. So you can check that out when it goes live. And we're very excited for you to listen to that and this continuation of the story we've been telling using the Dungeon World system. I think that's everything for coming up in the immediate, but we did have a big announcement to get into. So as always, when one door closes, another one opens. And as Wonderworld wraps up, we are going to have a new show that's going to be taking its spot, starting at the beginning of May. Try to remember what month it is. That Savannah is going to be running. Savannah, do you want to say a thing or two about the show or about the game?
I'll say a thing or two. So I am going to be taking a Thursday slot starting on May 9th. Is that what we said? Starting
Yes.
on May 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be running a game of Monster of the Week. The show is going to be called All Myths Are True. And that's really all I have to say about it at this point. More info to come soon, but it's going to be a really, really fun monster hunting, little bit absurd, good time.
Yes.
And I'm really excited to run a game.
And we are all looking forward to it. If you're not familiar with Monster of the Week, you can check out the rules of that online. It's a sort of, I like this system. It's based on Powered by the Apocalypse. So
it is a direct hack of Apocalypse World.
Yeah. So you'll be familiar with the rule set and the kind of general concept of how the game is run. Obviously with Savannah's unique GMing twist on it, which
that's one word for it.
I think we've only gotten to see Savannah run a couple of games on this channel, and every time
the best ones.
Every time it's been absurd and just amazing, and I'm hoping to see more and more of that.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it as far as announcements. We'll give more details on that as it approaches, and snippets into the characters we'll be playing and things like that before session 1. But for now, I guess let's get into the game, y'all. Cue music. We see the scene of the familiar smile of Carmen Dakota flashing across the screen as the newsreel fanfare swells. Good evening. Tonight, we sit down with the new chief of Advanced Genetics Department for Helix Corp, Dr. Alan Dayton, for an exclusive interview. We finally get a glimpse behind the curtain as the company's recent of the company's recent military contract and the work they're doing to stem superhuman violence. We'll also discuss his team's recent breakthrough on isolating the superhuman genome, a project known only to those outside of Helix as the Eighth Wonder Initiative. Afterwards, we will, and suddenly the news broadcast comes to a halt as the screen pauses. And we pan back to a white room. Outside a porthole window, we catch a glimpse of a familiar blue planet. A sleek ship silently hovers out of view. Across the room from the holo display, we see Irma, looking almost identical to the present day, but with a sterner expression and dressed all in white. A mountain of a man standing in the corner of the room wearing a flamboyant golden suit clears his throat. So what's the verdict? She pinches the bridge of her nose. Soon. She stands and walks to the window, looking outside. The changes are subtle, but they are most certainly there. By my estimate, maybe a month. Then what? Then the timeline stabilizes itself. Events that have been put into motion resolve, and we'll start to see changes. And we'll deal with it, just like every time some shit tries to break reality. Zeitgeist was prepared, sure, but he's dead now. Can't be any worse than Parallax or the Voidwalkers. It is, though. If your great-grandfather and my past self can't set the timeline straight, if the heroes of the dawning age can't correct the timeline, well, you and I might not even be around to stop it. What do you mean? She sighs. Parallax tried to summon a dimensional worm to devour Earth. What Zeitgeist has done, or is doing, it's going to be subtle. Small ripples will reach us, changes along with it. Most of them will be harmless. A friend's name, your spouse's home city, the color of your suit. Then the bigger changes. And if Zeitgeist calculated correctly, Ein itself may crumble. And the worst part is, no one will even know it happened. We'll just wake up and, well, it's out of our hands now. The Duke grimaces at this. These are heroes of legend, though. Lambast was the first to capture Anathema. Mutaboy stopped Dr. Contagion's death virus. And, well, shit, I'm sure you remember what Fantasia did to Pandemonium. If anyone could do it, they can. This is before all of that. Before the training, before the Wonder Initiative. They haven't even discovered a fraction of their full powers yet. The Duke crosses his arms and looks out the window along with Irma. I guess we'll just have to hope they're taking this seriously. Cut to the present day, where it is prom week.
We are taking it very seriously. Ooh.
So we're going to be picking up. Actually, we're going to be picking up slightly before the events of school and the morning. Morning of, I think we'll go with like the Wednesday before prom is that Saturday. We'll go a little bit down the line and figure out who has dates and whatnot here in a second, but setting up some context. So it's been about a little over a month since Rose went missing and since the events and the other of the last session took place. For the most part, everything has kind of returned to normal. There haven't been a lot of attacks since then. There's still this general kind of buzz in the air about the convention, SuperCon, that's going to be taking place in a couple weeks from now. But for now, the biggest thing I imagine on most of your minds is prom and getting ready for that. So I want to pick up in the morning at the Dayton household. And actually, this probably is better for I need a different. The music's a little too funky for this.
I know. I'm turning around my hat so it's backwards and pumping up my sneakers right now.
Record scratch. We're going back to the Dayton household morning as you're getting ready for your day. Dr. Dayton this is before the interview for the newscast. He's getting ready for his interview, and I think Olivia, you are in the living room of your house, and your dad is standing there, and he's got 4 ties in his hand, and he's just holding them up and going, "What do you think? This one, or maybe this one? What works?"
Yeah, the first one.
Are you sure it's not too bright? I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to be too hip or something.
You're not, trust me.
No. Thanks.
You're fine.
Yeah, it's been nothing but interviews and people talking to me and stuff since I've accepted this position. I honestly, I think they should have given it to Davison instead. Anyway, you've got things. Do you still need the check for your prom tickets, or have you gotten them already? I know you said you needed the money. I just.
Yeah, I still need to do that.
Oh, okay. Where's my checkbook? He starts rustling around the kitchen and stuff, pulling up large files that are stacked across the table and the countertop.
Dads don't have Venmo.
Yeah. This is a future checkbook. It's actually like an iPad that just you write the money amount on, and it's like Venmo, but it's ridiculous device that.
But it makes Dad feel like he's still writing a check.
He's still writing checks. Okay, so he begins writing it and flips the screen, and you get on your phone or something. It says that you've got money in your account to spend on that. However much prom tickets cost in the future.
$1 million probably.
Yeah. I think they're 80 when I was in school.
Yeah, ours were really expensive.
Yeah. Anyway, after he does that though, and puts the ties down, and I think he sits down with his coffee and starts rubbing his temples a bit and says, "So, how's everything else going to school? Everything okay?"
Yeah, school's fine.
You've been coming in late, and we haven't got much time to talk in the evening, so I just wanted to catch up while we have a moment. We're running a little bit early, so.
Yeah, I mean, finals are soon. Gross.
Good. You can tell your dad is a little nervous about something, and his legs kind of fidgeting. And he doesn't usually make small talk like this, and being really chatty this morning.
Do you need something?
No. All right. Well, we have a moment. Sit down, Olivia.
Okay. Is this the part where I say, "I didn't do it, I swear"?
No, you're not in trouble. No, nothing.
Because I didn't do it.
Is there something that I should? No, never mind. Nothing. It's not important. No, you're not in trouble. We've talked a bit over the past couple of weeks, and since a few weeks ago you came to me and you were really worried, and we haven't really talked much about the superheroics and that stuff, and these powers since it happened. I've been working on something at the office since we talked about it, and a little bit before. I think I may have an idea or a breakthrough. Something that may be able to help. An experimental treatment. It's something that we, like what happened the first time. I'm still not sure on it, and I need to do some tests and some more experiments in the lab and in a controlled environment before I even think about subjecting you to that. But it may be able to stabilize things, to keep the condition from coming back, to keep this from getting any worse. I don't want to say cure, but it's... Anyway, I want you to think about it, because the downside with it, and it's an easy choice for me to make as your father. I know what I would do if this does work. But it's not my choice to make. It's yours. You're a grown woman now, and you've handled things over the past year that I can't even understand. But if this works like I think it will, it'll cure you and you can live out the rest of your life and not have this hanging over your shoulder and hanging over your head anymore. But it probably means that you'll lose your powers too.
Wow. I don't even know what to say.
You don't have to make a decision. Like I said, I need some time, and we've always been able to be open with each other and tell each other things, and I don't like treating you like a kid, even though it's hard for me not to.
Except when it comes to Susan. Is that her name?
We can talk about that another time.
I'll think about it.
Okay. Yeah, I think he takes your hand and kind of sits there silently for a bit, and he says, I love you, okay?
I love you too, Dad.
Okay. Let's get you to school. And he kisses you on the head, and you continue in your morning ritual. So now we'll get back to the school and prom week. Cool. Cue school music. Okay, so it is a Wednesday like any other. Bell goes off. You're all in class. Same old. Some of you are thinking about these last couple weeks and graduation. Some of you are not. Wait, do we have any of the senior? Are any of you seniors? I don't remember who in the group is actually senior. No, like it was you and
yeah. Oh, I thought you said singer, and I'm like, well,
who in here is a singer? We're gonna have to bring out the karaoke. So let's get into some of the. So who? Okay, here's a couple things about prom. There hasn't been a dance since the the tragedy of homecoming, second homecoming, and the student council has finally gotten the planning and has set this up to be a night unlike any other. The budget for this prom is off the charts, considering there hasn't been any other events, and you guys are christening the new gymnasium with this with this dance, with this prom, since the old one was destroyed. With this christening it with the first dance of the season. Obviously there have been basketball games and stuff, but anyway, the theme for this prom is a little on the nose from the student council, but they chose the theme heroes and villains, going with the superhero theme. So I want to start with Ian, have you, or I guess, what are Ian's plans for prom?
Sorry, waiting for a siren to go past. It was loud enough that Zoom was like, hey, you're muted.
He's spending prom in jail.
Yeah. What are Ian's plans for prom?
So there is no way in hell that he would have waited this long to ask Olivia, so that has already happened.
Okay.
She's already said no.
We don't have to act out that scene, but what I imagine it was is just one day after school when they were at the sanctuary, he was just like, hey, can I talk to you for a second in, my room, her room, whatever. He's just like, promise you won't laugh a lot, and then does a very poorly choreographed and lip-synced dance routine to something.
That's still going on in the future?
Yeah.
That by now.
But
Okay.
it's just the two of them because there's no way he could pull it off at school.
Fair.
Just asks her that way.
He doesn't laugh a lot.
So you're so the two of you are going together, obviously with Olivia getting the money and stuff. I assume you're probably buying the tickets, but
Yeah.
okay, cool. So I guess this isn't necessarily something that needs to be done like at school. We could have done this in another thing, but I kind of want to no, we'll do that. We'll do the reveal of what you guys are like wearing and like colors and stuff like that at the prom itself. I think it'll be more fun, but think about that and get that together. Lucas, what are Lucas's plans for prom? Because you missed homecoming.
I did. I forgot about that. Forgot I missed. I was going to ask Shannon, but she probably doesn't want anything to do with me now. I forgot I stood her up. Shoot. Well, it's been 6 months or so. Maybe I could have possibly convinced her to at least to agree to go with me. She made like vengeance stand me up, and I don't know what kind of person she is, but
well, okay. I want to know from Lucas, what does Lucas do? Is Lucas going with the classics of just like going up, hey, do you want to go to prom with me? Or is this like seeing the Earth custom of elaborate like gestures to ask somebody to this event? Does he try to do something like that?
Yeah, he takes a cue from Rose.
Okay.
And she, after school one day, she goes out to her car to find it completely filled with popcorn. And while she's surveying the scene agape, Lucas comes out with some flowers. And it's like, would you go to prom with me? And then, yeah, they're not really getting, and that's about it. She probably, I don't know what she would do.
Man, you're putting me in a tough spot here because I want Lucas to have a date, but that's pretty much the worst way to ask someone.
But wasn't it canon from like the very beginning that Lucas is like the super hot foreign exchange student?
Yeah.
Weren't they also doing a prank war?
Lucas and
Was that Lucas and Rose? You
Oh,
guys were doing something.
Lucas didn't know he's didn't understand pranks.
yeah.
Rose just enlisted his help, but Lucas thought it was because like Lucas, or I think Rose told him like it's fun and it's a nice thing to do. I think that's what Rose said back in the day.
The question is I have to decide whether this person, a faceless NPC Shannon, now would be okay with that. I think what ends up happening in that moment that she is so taken aback by the gesture and the rage and then the confusion and everything else going on there. I think she probably, and with everyone else seeing this happen and like everybody being, it was probably like the talk of the school. And I don't think she said yes at first. I think she just was like,
I'm definitely not.
done. I don't think she said anything, but like everyone took videos of it and like took pictures of it, and everyone was talking about it. And by like the end of the next day, she had come to you and said yes, and seemed like thrilled about the idea because it had been like the talk of the school.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, just people like yeah.
And also the forgiveness of Lucas's character for being very too foreign even. Okay, cool. I like it.
I mean, at least it wasn't poutine, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. I'm debating whether does anybody have anything they want to be wanted to accomplish at school today. Any scenes anybody you guys want to do?
No. No.
Okay. Then I think we get the only scene that I have is for I think the three of you are sitting together at lunch, and you hear somebody clearing their throat as they come around in front of you, and it's Steven. And he goes, can I sit with you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. And he like sits across, and he's got his lunch on his lunch tray, and kind of awkwardly sits down in the chair. The person at the table next to him not really willing to push their seat in, so he's kind of has to shove himself down a bit. He goes, how are you guys doing?
Fine.
Yeah.
I was well, I was hoping to ask for a favor from you can say no, it's not like a big deal or anything, but I just anyway, well, me and I was thinking about asking Kiki to the prom, but like she can't be here obviously because she's in New York, and I get that, but I was gonna set up a webcam and a projector and have her here at the prom so she could sort of enjoy it with, and you guys are her friends and you might like it too, and so I was thinking that you might be willing to help me with it and get that set up so that she could kind of be here in spirit even if she can't be here in person.
I think that's something we can probably swing.
Yeah, that's super nice, Steven.
If she says yes, let me know, and I think I can come up with something for I don't know, that will help make the whole FaceTime thing a little bit more easy.
Space time?
Yeah, it's a FaceTime thing.
I mean, yeah, East Coast, West Coast time zone differences. It's going to be super late for her over there, but I'm sure she'll be thrilled.
Oh, I just thought he meant FaceTime.
Oh, maybe it's misheard the accent.
Whoops.
Okay.
I mean, both, really? I mean, if you're talking about the really old webcam software FaceTime, I mean, we are in space time now.
I don't know what they have in Canada?
Oh, we have it all. So, anyway, all I'm saying is if she says yes, then let me know.
Okay. Well, I'm sure. I mean, even if she, I was sort of just going to frame it like, being here with your friends. And I mean, I want to see her, obviously, because she's a friend of mine, too. But I thought that, you might all want her to be there as well. I'll let her know. I'll text her and ask. And I think he.
Wait a minute.
What?
You should call her.
I should call her. Yeah, I should call. Yeah, I should call her. Right. Yeah. I'm done eating now, and he gets up without having to take a bite of his food.
Bye,
and walks off.
He hardly took any bite of his poutine.
Well, at least he's nice.
I suppose so.
He needs some help.
So
guy.
I will help him. I'll,
That'll
I
be
have-
great.
I'll let him know how to to woo the women. So
Do you?
Yeah, I'll help him out. It's fine.
Now, Olivia, have you not heard about his roaring success with Shannon the other day?
That's not the word I was going to use for it, but I heard what happened. You did a
Some
very
people
good job.
say like what I did was a little corny, but I like to think I was popping off.
That's pretty good. I gotta say.
Lucas's understanding of puns over the last couple months has really just hit a new level.
And character growth.
I'm so proud of you.
For a character that is otherwise, ironically, one-dimensional.
Sweet Canadian baby is growing up.
So proud.
Okay. Anything else? Sorry, I don't want to interrupt if you guys want to talk about anything
No,
else.
that joke went on for a very long time.
Okay. Well, for longer than I meant for
It
it,
was
to.
a good joke. You did a
Um,
good job.
Okay, so I don't really have much else to set up for school. The only thing else I'll mention is, and I think you guys see this as you're walking through the halls and then you're like leaving the school. Pretty much every poster board or like bulletin board around the school and some around the city do have missing posters for Rose too, and those have been up since like the couple days after she went, since the event.
Oh, our friend is missing?
Yes.
Oh.
Just so you guys remember that,
Yeah.
in putting that in context.
No,
Okay.
I think every
Well,
so often I've probably been trying to call her, but
Yeah, it's
a little
been like,
less cheery.
yeah. Well, it's been a month, and you guys are teenagers, and you get over things quickly.
also she can teleport.
I don't know that's. But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, and again, I want to give the context that you guys. It's not necessarily that you guys know or think that she's dead, just that she's gone.
I have been trying to call her though because she's the only person I ever went shopping for dresses for dances with.
Yeah.
So I think I've been putting it off.
Also, I will say, just for clarification, and so it's on stream, we did give Olivia the note that Rose wrote for her at the end of last session.
Oh, good.
Good.
I don't have to cry about that on stream.
Okay. So next scene or next concept. So that day passes. You guys have your dates. Getting your. If you guys haven't made your rentals for your clothes and stuff at this point, you're not getting them, and you're wearing sweatpants to prom. So,
I think we also figured that out far enough ahead of time.
Yeah.
Maybe the players haven't had enough time to think about what we're going to wear.
You guys will have to think about it and have answers soonish, but just giving some forewarning for that. Okay. Next thing. Ian. You have somewhere to be this afternoon after school gets out. Again, this music is way too pumped up for what I've got. Let's go with no. Geez, not a lot of diversity music. I got happy and I got miserable. We'll just go with this for right now, the old standard. You've been contacted, and you probably had this appointment for a while and have done normal kind of meetings about this and getting updates on the trial. But you were given a call by the lead prosecutor for the case for that the prosecution against the person who allegedly killed your brother. And the prosecutor has asked if you have the time, just had some aspects of the case to go over with you this afternoon, if you would come by their office downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, you've with these sort of things and you know your like victims' rights and stuff, you don't have to be a part of it. You're by no means required. do you think Ian has been sort of very involved in the trial process, or do you think you've been kind of in and out of the thing of it?
I think he's been fairly heavily involved. Earlier on, there, more recently after it happened, there was a lot of, showing up at the police station like, why haven't you done anything yet? Where is my justice? But now it's a lot more like, okay, yeah, the wheels of justice took some time, but now things are finally moving, things are finally happening, and is showing up and, cooperating, doing as much as he can to, in his role strictly as Ian Jimenez.
Okay.
Nothing to do with any of his activities as Lambast that might have helped nudge police towards finding the people.
Mm-hmm. So you make it downtown, taking the bus or having somebody drop you off. Which actually, that's a good question. Do you telling your friends about this, or does Olivia?
Yeah, I think would have been mention of just like, oh, by the way, I have to go meet with the prosecutor this afternoon, and seeing what they have to say about that, because I don't think Ian's been hiding it, but it's also just like, this obviously isn't a cheery subject and isn't like, this is what's happening.
Would you want to bring somebody with you?
I don't think Ian is the kind of person who would say, hey, can someone please come with me? But may have hinted at it, but is also, he's done enough of these on his own, doesn't need anyone to go with him. But
I'll leave that up to you. Obviously, the person I thought made the most sense would be Lucas, of course. But Olivia. But yeah, if you think it made sense and you guys both want to be in the scene, then that's fine by me.
I would offer to go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So.
Well, that makes sense too, because you've one of the only people with a car, so you drive downtown and head into the prosecutor's office. Obviously, very nice older building, big marble pillars, very kind of classic bastion of law and order kind of thing. I wish I had the Law and Order sound effect, because I would have done that too. Curse you, roll 20. Boom, boom, boom. Anyway, you're taken by the secretary into one of like the larger conference rooms, big oak table, very clean, and she brings you like bottles of soda or water or anything you might want, and you're sitting there comfortably for probably a little bit longer, maybe like 10 minutes or so, while the prosecutor's finishing up a meeting, and then there's a knock at the door and he comes in. You've probably spoken with him ahead of time. Again, he's one of the like assistant DAs, is the one that's been handling the case. His name is Dave Anders. Probably just has you call him Dave. Maybe late 30s, looks a little bit more aged, dark skin and like impeccably dressed, very, very presentable and professional. And he comes in with a handful of folders and he says, Ian, it's so good to see you. And he walks over and shakes your hand and says, don't worry about getting up. How have you been?
Oh, I mean, things are busy at school. It's prom this week. So that's
great.
Exciting.
And who is this? I'm sorry. My name is, you can call me Dave.
This is Olivia. You
The
can
prom date.
yourself.
Of course. I'm glad that you've got things going on. That's great. And he's a little bit kind of thrown off by the situation, having somebody there and not really sure what to say. And he sits down he sets down the folder, says, so, update on the case. We are, well, I just have to sort of lay it out for you, Ian, and I don't want to sugarcoat it. We've been able to be pretty well, I've tried to be up front with you on this whole time about this, and we took a pretty heavy blow this week. The judge threw out I'm going to keep this simple, a pretty big piece of evidence in our case against your brother's killer, and we're sort of in a bad situation here.
Can you say what the evidence was or why it was thrown out? Do you know why?
It was acquired through. There are certain procedures that need to be gone through in order for police to obtain evidence, and it came to light during the case that there may have been some vigilante involvement in the arrest of your brother's killer, and because of that, certain pieces of evidence were not obtained under proper warrants. We've been arguing for the past couple months now that the importance of this evidence and its admissibility, and unfortunately, the judge didn't rule in our favor. We're going to appeal that, and we're going to. Well, that's what I want to do, but I have a boss just like everyone else, and they're looking at making a plea deal. Raymond Walters, which you would know is the name of the person that's they believe killed your brother. He's part of a larger organization, and a much. There are a lot of bad people connected to him, and they think that, or he's agreed and offered that if we lessen the charges against him, well, that he'll give us information on them. And it's not what I want, and I know it's not what you want. But sometimes this is just how these things work.
So without that evidence, what are the best chances we're looking at? Or is there nothing, and that's why there's now the plea deal?
It's slim to none. Without some sort of, I'll comb through what was taken during the raid and see what we can find, but without an admission, without some sort of miracle at this point, we don't have anything directly connecting him to the crime.
I think Ian is gripping his chair fairly hard, and maybe the wood of the arm starts to splinter just a little bit.
Okay. I don't think it's enough. I sit across the table. I don't think Dave notices right away, but we'll get to that later. And he's kind of sitting there quietly, waiting to see what you say.
I'm torn, Dave. I mean, it's... on the one hand, I want justice. I want him to pay. But if that justice is also bringing down bigger fish, others like him, maybe the ones who gave the order, I might just have to take that. I don't have to like it.
I'm going to do everything I can to see if we can get something better. At this time, like I said, unless I find something else, and I'm going to work nonstop on this case. I've handed off everything else to another attorney. I'm only handling this until it's resolved, and I'm going to do everything I can to try to find something that will give you the closure that you need. But yeah, unless I can find anything, unless I can present anything, and I don't have a lot of time, then this is what's going to happen. So we have till the end of the week, and if I can't find anything by then, if nothing comes forward by then we're gonna have to make the deal. I hate to cut this short. I have another meeting I need to get to, but you have my cell number, and if you have any questions or you just want to talk, you can call me, okay?
Thank you, Dave.
Of course. And I think he gets up from the table and walks around and sort of puts his hand on his shoulder and shakes your hand again. He says, it's good to see you, and let me know how finals and graduation and everything go. If we don't get a chance to talk about it before then. It was good meeting you, Olivia, right?
Yeah, you too.
Take the time you need. You have the room for as long as you want. And he picks up some of the folders and leaves the room.
I think as soon as Dave is out, Ian, goes to slam his fist down on the table. It's like, wait, no, probably not. And then just, face in his hands. God damn it, why did I do that? Now it's my fault.
It's not your fault.
It was probably something I did, to help bring him in the first place. God.
It's way more complicated than that.
Isn't it always?
Yeah.
I want to go do something about it, but anything I do now would only make things worse. We just have to let this happen and be fine with the plea deal, and maybe they'll get some of the bigger pieces of scum.
It's a good way to think about it. It's kind of our whole thing, right?
Yeah, it's definitely something I've been thinking about a lot. As much as our extracurriculars are good, we do have to let things play out sometimes, and we can't take care of everything that way.
You want to go do something?
Yeah, yes, please.
Okay. Where you guys head off to? Or just
What do you want to do, Ian?
Yeah.
You want to go for a run?
Yeah, I think a run to the beach. Eventually have the scene of skipping stones, and it just goes, out to the horizon. But
Okay.
Yeah, definitely physical exertion.
Yeah.
Something to get the physical exhaustion so he doesn't have to think or feel for at least a little while.
Okay. All right. So you guys had to do that. And the next thing I want to do, or while this is going on, I want to do something with Lucas. I don't think we've ever got really a snapshot into what Lucas is doing, like when the rest of the team is off doing like human things. You just hanging out at the base, or what's Lucas up to?
Oh boy. I've never once thought about it. Not a singular time. Let's see. Maybe just going through. Maybe going through like Google or something, and Google image search, and then some kind of like trying to get like, is there a surprise me thing in Google? There's just like a surprise me, or is that Wikipedia or something like that?
Yeah, Google has the
surprise me thing.
Yeah.
So maybe he's doing that with an image search, and he's just trying to like keep himself like interested, just keep, like a new face or a new shape or a new something, and just tries to mimic it. And it's just like kind of practicing that. So maybe like one is like Liza Minnelli, and another one is the Declaration of Independence. Another one is a toaster oven, and just to keep himself kind of his mind going, I guess.
I like the scene of like maybe not now, but sometime in the past, like doing this and having it just be something like very inappropriate, and somebody like walks into the room and just like walks back out.
Oh yeah. Definitely, that's happened.
But this time you're doing that. Maybe a little bit wiser, maybe a little more savvy. But you, as you're doing this, you hear a like a beep or like an alarm coming from your spacecraft.
Yeah, I head over there, check it out. I don't think that I've I'm just almost surprised that it's working.
Yeah, and I think because I think it broke a while ago, and I imagine Lucas has been working on it.
I've been working on it.
Yeah, maybe it's not flight capable at the moment, but you've got some of like the electronics working on it. And there is a as you get inside and you're looking at the sensors and you mute whatever it is that the alarm sound. You see that there is there's like a message on the display, like you are being hailed or receiving some sort of incoming transmission. Okay.
First, yeah, I'll just be quiet for now and just like open up the channel. But okay. they should know that I opened it up.
Okay. Yeah, you opened it up, and yeah. So I think what you get is there's a lot of static at first, and it slowly kind of simmers down until it's the audio is clear, and you hear in your native tongue.
It's more of a gurgle than a tongue, but yes.
Well, yeah. Your native sound.
It's just gack noises.
Yeah. Anyone else? I'm not going to describe this as hearing it. Well, this is my question for Lucas. What is Lucas's name? His real name?
Unpronounceable.
Unpronounceable. I'm just going to go with Lucas for the purpose of this conversation, just because I don't want to keep on Gishgandlaka.
It sounds like just a lot of that, really. Like, is what his name sounds like. Like that, like the natural form it looks like kind of like just like a jelly, like a spore made of jelly, pretty much, and just like lots of little ripples and vibrations.
But you hear you again, keeping this in human terms, you hear a voice that says, "Come in, Lucas."
And I think for the first time in a bit, Lucas relaxes into his real form and kind of takes controls and just like, hello.
You're there. It's working. It's Lucas.
Yes?
Where are you?
Well, it's a little complicated to explain, but I am in I forgot dimension 69. What dimension did we choose for for this one? I think I wrote it down somewhere. Oh well. If you've been following this show really carefully, you'll know what it was.
If you know, Lucas, if you know the dimension that Earth occupies, respond now to text 555-7529.
We are in dimension 27. He's from 84.
That's right.
I knew it wasn't.
I've said that's right, but I don't know.
I knew it wasn't 69, but I also wouldn't have put it past any of us to choose 69.
Yeah,
so.
I knew. Yeah, I am in dimension 27. Where are you?
We're home. We've been trying to 27. Okay. 20.
And then, like in the background, someone's like, "Ew, gross."
We've been looking for you. Are you okay? Do you need someone to come get you? Is your ship broken?
Well, I mean, it's kind of it's in a transitionary period between working and not working, but I don't want to say it's broken or anything.
Well, why haven't you come back?
I made friends.
Friends?
With some of the life forms here.
We didn't even know they were capable of understanding those sort of advanced concepts. Maybe our data's off, and you hear some like beeping in the background.
Well, it's sort of a mixed bag, I have to admit, but I found some very nice people.
That's okay. You should still return. Are you coming back soon, or?
I've been thinking about it.
Well, we've all been worried about you, and you haven't been in contact, and
I thought I had to put lots of time to go out and exploring everything. Everyone's worried about me already. I mean, my curfew is not for another year or two.
He says, "No, don't get that tone with me. I mean, you were supposed to be in contact this whole time."
But yes, those are extenuating circumstances. I was going to call you as soon as I was able to.
All right. Well, we want you home soon. Before curfew.
Of course, is everything all right?
We've been getting strange readings from a few of the dimensions, and we didn't know which one you're in. 27 is... It seems like there's things wrong there. You should probably come home. We don't want you getting exposed or catching something while you're out.
What is wrong?
Well, what isn't at this point? It kind of like, again, more beeping on the other end, and says, by our calculations, there are wild fluctuations to space-time and distortions and breaches. It looks like somebody named Galagon was doing, I don't know. We've seen a lot of strange things happening there, and our surveys have indicated that the dimension itself is in threat of collapsing. So it's probably best that you leave before something dangerous happens.
Oh, but if the dimension is in danger of collapsing, shouldn't we do something to help out?
No.
But
Listen, they dimensions spring up and collapse and override each other all the time. It happens. It happens all the time, especially with these primitive life forms, and they do things they don't understand. And anyway, it's fine. It's just going to be overwritten by another version of itself. Everything will still be there, and it's just everything you know and see there is just going to die. It's fine.
But is there anything we can do?
You're worried about them?
They're my friends.
We can't interfere with every collapsing dimension. We'd be well.
Well, I know we wouldn't have got to the dimension 80, whatever, if we'd stopped by for every dimension along the way, but if there's anything we can do, it'd be wrong not to try to help.
Here's what I'm gonna do here. They're trying to exert their influence over you.
Oh, yep.
So I'm gonna have you. It sounds like you're trying to reject their influence, and
Yeah. So do
Trying
I
to
have
get-
to roll something?
it's just roll.
I was just roll.
Yeah. When you
Um,
reject somebody's influence, roll. On a hit, you successfully hold to yourself and tune them out. On 10
Alright.
plus, choose 2. On a 7 to 9, choose 1.
Okay. I don't have my real dice, so we'll do computer dice.
Okay.
I rolled an 8.
8. Okay. So mixed success. So you have to choose one from a list. You
Okay.
clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. Shift one label up and one label down. You choose. Cancel the influence. Take +1 forward against them.
Okay. I'm going to the first one. So what, I mean, any condition or just so I've been afraid for a very long time.
Okay.
So I'm going to clear afraid as Lucas just kind of realizes that I'm trying to think of how to make that work narratively. I think just that is maybe his fear and actually just getting involved and like and being who he is and everything. Is just going to say, "No, Papa. My friends are here, and if I won't let this happen. I can't. If you and everyone else thinks that that's the wrong thing to do, fine. But I'm going to do something. With or without you."
There's a long moment of staticky silence, and then they begin to speak again, and the voice says, "Lucas, we," and the connection cuts out.
Okay. I close down Google. It'd be so funny if this whole conversation was Liza Minnelli. I think Lucas is going to go to his instruments and try to assess what they're talking about, what disturbances are going on in this dimension that threaten its existence.
It sounds like it assess the situation.
It does. So I'm going to roll that, which is a superior roll.
Yes.
And I rolled a miss, a 6.
Thanks. Okay. For right now, at least, then you can take your XP. And then for right now, at least, you begin to look through that using the limited technology you have right now. But you don't.
Just in the dark.
Yeah, I think you're just in the dark right now and can't connect to what you need to find this and to figure this out. Okay. So then where I want to pick up is after your run and skipping rocks in the sunset, Olivia and Ian, the two of you come back to the base. I assume maybe regroup in the afternoon, doing whatever you guys do, hanging out in your cool superhero pad. And well, is there anything you guys want to work on or want to do or talk about while you're there? Not once you all regroup.
I mean, trying to think. I don't know if we necessarily need to rehash a whole scene, but I think Ian, in the interest of being, open with the group, would just be like, hey, here's the development in my brother's trial. And yeah, things are kind of sucky right now.
Okay. Well, yeah, we can start there. We can kind of, you've filled everyone in. Well, everyone who's there. So you filled Lucas in.
But where's Lovebug and Irma and Golden Duke?
Oh man, they're doing their own superhero thing. We'll get the spinoff later on.
Yeah. Yeah. I think just lays it out, and it's like, well, this is how it is. As I was saying to Olivia earlier, as much as I want to go do something, don't think anything I or we can do would actually be helpful. I think it would be, at this point, it would be, evidence obtained under duress or something, which makes it even less admissible.
Does they say what the evidence was? Is they talking about them? Who did this? If they thought it was one of us?
I mean, it was probably me. You guys know I went after that whole gang pretty hard. Right around when it happened, and thought I was helping, but apparently the legal system still isn't a huge fan of us vigilantes, and so hasn't made allowances for our activities yet.
Did you bring them any evidence?
Tore up a couple warehouses, certainly made a big stink of like, hey, criminal stuff going on over here. But apparently skipped a few legal steps along the way.
That doesn't sound like what I've... It doesn't sound like what you're talking about. I've seen a lot of Law and Order over the past couple of years, and if they say some evidence was produced under suspect means, nothing that you describe sounds like that.
Yeah, I mean,
if that were the case, then criminals who fight each other, nothing that they found afterwards would be admissible. I don't understand.
I don't know exactly what the evidence was, but had something to do with vigilante involvement, and I'm assuming it was me doing something. Because I mean, I don't know what else it could be. I mean, what other vigilante would have had their fingers on this? Like I said, at this point, I don't think there's anything I or we can do about it unless either of you has an idea.
I barely have a high school diploma.
I just think it's important if we find out what it is that having questions over. Maybe it wasn't you. Maybe it wasn't us. Maybe we didn't have anything to do with it.
Maybe, but I don't know.
'Cause
Without
I didn't do anything.
without Rose around, it's not like we can just teleport into, the evidence locker or the jail where they're holding him or other things. It's
Even with Rose around, that seems like a really bad idea.
yeah, that goes back to the, invalidating any evidence.
Yeah.
Maybe I could walk in and find out.
I mean, it's not outside the realm of possibility, but I don't think, doesn't matter how much Law and Order you've watched, I don't know that you're going to be able to impersonate a lawyer enough to fool everyone there.
That's a general question to people who are familiar with like the power sets of other things. I haven't leveled up ever. Is there anyone who has like a power of mimicry or anything like that?
I don't know.
Not me.
Because I might just grab that power if that's a thing. I'm just gonna. Okay, I got it right here. So not mimic. That's not showing up. I'm just gonna look real quick.
Okay.
And you can move on if you want to. I'm just.
You guys can continue your conversation, or is everybody looking for this now?
I was looking, but
Yep, same.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Ian, it's your family and it's your thing. It's your decision. But I don't know if interfering anymore is really the right idea.
Yeah, it's certainly not the resolution I would have liked, but
I mean, the guy's at least taking a plea deal, right? And it's not like he's just gonna walk away.
one would hope, as long as the DA isn't a complete fool and, gives him immunity or something for bigger fish.
Well, I don't know. I just don't want us to make it worse.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Well, at least with, prom coming up, that should hopefully serve as a distraction. Then I'll just be trying not to think about how it'll probably be, as we're at prom, the deadline for evidence is winding down.
Yeah, at this point, I think it might be best to let Dave do his job.
Yeah. Yeah. Just let Dave do his job. See what happens. May have to. Not even gonna say what may or may not happen. Just gonna have to see what comes of Raymond after his plea.
Could you try calling Dave right now and just trying to ask and see if maybe they'll just tell you?
And I tried asking him a few hours ago. I don't know what calling him now would do, but
Yeah, you
What
asked
if I
him.
call him and like cry? Do you think it would make him feel bad enough? I don't know. It's all I've got, Ian.
it's worth a shot, I guess. And I think Ian will pull out his phone and like show Olivia Dave's number.
Hold on, let me get into character.
Is your refrigerator running? Also, what was the evidence?
I'm gonna call him.
Okay. You dial the number. The phone begins to ring.
Wait, I'm gonna walk out of the room so I'm not looking at these two goobers while I'm trying to
Okay.
talk to him.
I'll put on the sanctuary music because no,
I'm tempted to take this ability, stunning beauty and pheromones, but that's no.
Okay. No, that's not what I want. That's a little too optimistic right now for the government, for the justice system's failing me. Okay, so you call the number, it rings for a moment, and it clicks, and you hear Dave's voice is Dave Anders.
Hi, Dave. This is Olivia.
Olivia, Ian's girlfriend.
Yeah, do you have a second?
Sure. Do you need something?
Well, it's not really me. It's Ian's really upset, Dave, and I just don't know what to do.
Okay. I'm sorry. I can talk to him if I need to.
Well, that's why I'm calling you. Like, he won't even talk to anyone. He just locked himself in his room, and it's really bad, Dave. He's like really torn up about this evidence stuff, and I just feel like maybe if we had a little bit more information, or just like maybe if there was like anything you could tell me about like what the evidence was that got thrown out or something like that, so I could just like, I don't know, I just need to like ground him a little bit. So like, please, can you help me?
So he kind of stutters for a bit. I'm gonna have you roll to. This kind of sounds like provoking someone.
I don't know. All my rolls are really bad right now, so.
Okay, I'm gonna have you roll to provoke someone. I think that's because you're trying to get him to give you information.
Okay.
Really successful right now. So roll
I have
plus.
a -2.
Yikes.
Big yikes. That's a 4. I did a bad job.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
He says. He says, I understand. I can't divulge too much about the case any more than I said earlier. And there's not really much more to go over. Why don't we do this? If Ian wants to talk to me, why don't just have him call me in the morning, and I can give him some more information there. And we can talk once he's had a moment to process.
Oh, fine, Dave. I thought you said you were going to be there for him. And I hang up.
Star 69. Just kidding.
Okay, I go back in the other room.
Okay.
They probably heard all this.
And when
Yeah,
you come in, like, just like it's just real expectantly, like,
Yeah, he didn't go for it.
Figured as much, but he's doing his job.
Laws and all that, I guess. Sorry. I did my best, like, crying voice and everything, too.
Yeah, no, you did great, but we know it was going to be a long shot anyway.
Sorry.
Thank you, though.
He didn't say anything at all. He just hung up on you.
No, well, I hung up on him, but it was more of an exit strategy. I don't know, he just said he can't really divulge anything other than he's already divulged, and that, Ian, you should call him. If you want to talk. I told him you're really upset. So, sorry.
I mean, you're not wrong, but yeah. I think I'm gonna go hit some things in the training room. And Ian heads out to go do that.
Okay. Anything else you guys wanted to go over this night?
No, I think Lucas kind of like there's like a shot of him just kind of looking back towards his room where his like ship is, and then like thinking, should he reveal this information? But because he doesn't know what's going on yet, he's just gonna keep it to himself for now, and then probably just head back to his computer array and just kind of continue to try to take readings of trans-dimensional frequencies and that sort of thing, and just try to figure out what's going on, like what his home world saw that he can't see.
Okay. Olivia, I assume at some point you have to head back home as it gets later.
I'm gonna walk.
You're going to walk home? You're going to leave your car at the base?
Well, no, we ran. I don't actually know where my car is right now. I feel like this
That's
happens a
true.
lot, probably, where I have to go, where did we actually
Where did I leave
Also-
the car?
leave the car?
There's also self-driving cars in this future, and you
True.
can just like text it to like drive itself home.
I text my car and tell it to go home.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna walk
Okay,
up.
mommy, see you tomorrow.
Okay, love you, bye. And
okay.
I'm gonna walk home, but a couple of times on the walk home, I'm gonna try to call Rose.
Okay. Yeah, I think you call her a couple of times on the way, and it doesn't even ring. It never picks up. When you get home, you in the front door, and your dad, I think he's probably falling asleep on the couch watching March Madness. And
Oh,
you had-
before I wake him up, I look. Does he have our brackets? I check our brackets that we definitely made.
sure, you're winning.
I'm winning. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like that's something Olivia and her dad would do.
No, that's fair. You head upstairs, and as you drop your backpack on the floor of your room, you go to turn on the light switch, except before you do, you notice there is a silhouette in your window.
Listen, if you're here to like kidnap me or whatever, I'm really not in the mood.
I don't really know who would want to kidnap you. You're kind of annoying.
Rose, why are you in my window?
Rose, so she's kind of, the window's open and she's kind of sitting in the windowsill. She says, well, apparently I'm missing, and I'm not really sure what the protocol for that is.
I mean, step number one's probably answer your phone.
Don't have a phone.
Well, then you won't see the definitely 0 missed calls you have from me. So, good.
Hey,
Hey.
we probably need to talk about some stuff.
Yeah. Do you want to come inside?
Yeah, sure. So she scoots in the window, and you turn on the light to your room, and you can see Rose is wearing like she's wearing a t-shirt or like a hoodie, like it's about 2 sizes too big, and has a I think it's got a logo on the front that's for like Charleston, South Carolina on it, and is wearing like some basketball shorts and again, like clothes that don't really look like she that fit her that well, and is carrying like a backpack that has like some water balls sticking out of it.
You look terrible.
Yeah, no shit.
Do you want some sweatpants?
Please,
I'm
these
way
are
closer
terrible.
to your size. Okay.
I haven't gotten home yet because honestly, I'm afraid what Jillian's gonna say.
I mean, probably, oh my god, you're alive. I'm so glad to see you. And then followed by, what did you do?
Yeah, I'm more worried about the second part and having to explain that. Why I went missing for like a month.
I would also like an explanation. I'll trade you for the sweatpants.
Sure. She changes in silence and then says, as she tosses the shorts that she's wearing like in the garbage, and says, yeah, so apparently it takes a long time to hitchhike from the East Coast to the West Coast.
Why didn't you teleport?
Because I can't.
Why?
Don't know. Can't do anything anymore.
Well, that's bad.
Yeah,
Why were you on the East Coast?
that's sort of a long story. Well, I probably need to tell everyone else too. You remember the attack right when I went missing? The
Yeah, the one where you were there, but you had a weird outfit and a sword.
yeah. I had to stop that, and I sort of overexerted myself a little bit, and this is where I am now. Ended up off a few miles off the coast, on the wrong side of the country.
You had to stop that.
Yeah, because it was also kind of my fault.
That's what I thought you were gonna say.
I'm really sorry for not telling you guys everything.
You mean for lying?
I prefer to think of it like forgetting the truth.
Yeah, well, I'd prefer to not, have to have dealt with the fact that my best friend might have been dead for the last, however long it's been, but we can't always get what we want.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I was going to call, but I really couldn't think of a good way to explain everything, and I wanted to tell you all in person, and then I just kind of kept putting it off, and got to see a lot of places I hadn't really seen before, so that was nice. There's a lot of places that say they have the world's biggest ball of string, and they're all pretty much the same size. Are you mad at me?
Yes? So mad? You don't even... You can't even fathom how super mad I am. I hug her.
I think she hugs you back and starts crying.
I'm really glad you're alive.
Me too. And that's where we're going to take our break for the interim. And we'll be back here in a second. And welcome back, everyone. Thanks for bearing with us on a break. Getting back into the game, Rose has reappeared. I kind of want to just skip forward to the next day, with back at like after school at the base with everybody talking to Rose, so we can just do this one time with everyone there. So I think Olivia, I'm assuming you probably tell everyone that Rose came back before, or earlier in the
Yes.
day when you guys see everybody at school,
Yes.
and she says that she's going to go to the base and hang out there because again, she's still not really sure what to do about going home or anything at this point. And is pretty sure that once she goes home, she's never gonna be able to leave home again. So she spends the night at the base. We'll assume after school, you all ride home with or ride to the base with Olivia in her car. And as you enter, I think Rose is just sitting on the couch, playing on the video, the Nintendo Box 350 or whatever we decided it was called. And sees you all answer, like pauses it and sees all you in kind of deer in the headlights look, awkward, like 5 seconds of silence, and says, "Sup?"
I'm trying to think what greeting will Rose have trained Lucas into, like what like, because I don't think that Rose has probably ever wanted Lucas to hug her, but
No, I like,
and it's also not natural to him necessarily to hug someone when they're excited to see them, so
yeah. I like the idea that it was probably a high five and she got Lucas to say something that's probably like inappropriate, like "Sup, motherfucker," or something like that.
okay. Yes.
Well, welcome back, motherfucker.
I think she starts laughing and says, hey, Lucas.
Rose, glad you're not dead.
Ian, same. I already had to deal with all this shit with Irma and Hector and Butterfly Boy earlier, so we'll just cut to it. Yes, I'm still alive. No, I don't have my powers anymore. And yes, we are out of Cheetos.
Oh,
I literally just bought those yesterday.
Yeah, they're gone.
You're
Screw
so
you for the
gross.
Cheetos, but also, you've been here all day. Have you tried? We have that power enhancement system that we have almost never used.
Yeah.
That you could, maybe it'll do something. Olivia kind of filled us in on some of the details.
Yeah, I spent a few minutes sitting in that. It just felt a little tingly, but nope, nothing.
How many minutes constitutes a few minutes? Because was it like 30 seconds?
I might have fallen asleep in it.
Okay, then probably it actually didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, I really thought that one would work. I talked to Irma and Hector about it. I mean, they were useless, so I mean, in a nice way.
where have you been?
Everywhere. And sort of a little cross-country road trip.
I've seen so many movies with that. It's so amazing. I know you probably wanted to do something like that at some point, and the powers. It just probably seems silly now, but now you got that experience that it is so seminal for all the Americans to cross the country.
Yeah, it wasn't that fun. There was a lot of riding in the back of pickup trucks and sneaking on the buses.
Well, that will make a very fine country music song someday.
I'll start working on that. Maybe that's my new power. Maybe I'm super good at country music. Yeah, so I was I guess I kind of need to fill you all in on what happened before I disappeared. Well, to just kind of lay it all out there, I sort of joined a supervillain group. I mean, they weren't really villains, but kind of turned out that way. Lucas, I'm really sorry. I don't know if you remember anything from that night, but when I took you to meet them, and
I'm sorry, what?
yeah, there was this girl. Her name was Hannah, but just called her Spectra. She sort of got me to join the group. There was another guy named Miguel called Micron, and they were doing stuff, and I guess trying to fix the timeline that got kind of messed up by Zeitgeist and Irma. I filled Irma in on it too, and she was understanding about it. Seemed a little angry, but
I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but number one, no, I don't really remember that. But number two, is there something wrong with the timeline?
yes, and yes, they sort of mind controlled you. You remember when everything went missing at the base a long time ago? I didn't know about this until, like, I did not join them knowing about this. As soon as I found out, that was kind of like when everything went bad, and then Hannah died, and anyway, but they mind controlled you, and I didn't know about it, but I kind of put you back in that situation, and they tried to do it again, and I made them stop. And Ian, I also found out that they were also responsible for what happened to your brother. I don't really understand it, but apparently when Zeitgeist and them, they started messing and kind of fighting over this timeline and messing with things, it turned out whatever they changed was going to make it so your brother didn't die and that your family was going to be fine. And again, I don't really know, because when I found out, I sort of got a little mad and teleported them out into the Atlantic Ocean. But anyway, they when that got changed, they tried to set things, I guess, what they thought was right, and part of that was making sure your brother died.
You said these motherfuckers are already dead?
Yeah, Spectra got killed by that robot that attacked downtown when Galagos or whatever attacked, and then Micron. I guess I killed him.
Oh.
I don't know if I'm happy to hear that they're gone or pissed that I can't make that happen now.
You killed a person?
Well, he was... Yeah, there's not really an excuse for it. Yeah, I did. He was in the computers and was controlling things, and I used my powers to rip the computer, to teleport the computer and myself out. And the only place where I thought he wouldn't be able to do anything else, into the ocean, and I kind of dropped him there. And I'm assuming he's dead. I mean, either that or he's just going to chill at the bottom of the ocean forever. But I'm not going to make excuses for it. And it's one of the reasons that I just kind of don't want to go home, because I can't really explain that to my aunt.
You could try.
Yeah. Anyway, so guess it's good my powers are gone then. I can't hurt anyone else. So prom's this Friday. Guess I'm not going to that. So guess you'll be the prom queen or whatever this year, Olivia.
Yeah, I guess.
Sure, if you showed up, you'd have a line a mile long trying to ask the girl back from the dead out, or I guess they just thought you were missing.
Literally, you can't go to prom though, because they will make you prom queen out of pity.
Yeah, and I guess we can't deal with any more pity royalty. No, I don't think I'm going to be going back to school, at least this year.
Oh, it's one
I'm
more
going to
year,
have to
right?
repeat sophomore year again.
You'll be super great at it the third time.
Anyway, so that's pretty much it. They were, like I said, I got pretty mad and did that. They were saying some real crazy stuff, like saying that Lucas had to go home, and that something about Steven. I never really got that answer there. And that Olivia, that you had to
Well, what else is new?
Yeah. But, you know, for what it's worth, I chose you all in the end. So, but I guess this is sort of my retirement from the team.
Oh, that sucks. Now we have to drive everywhere.
Yeah. No, I've realized that. So slow. I'm really sorry, guys, for all that.
I can't believe you joined a supervillain organization and like only took Lucas.
To be fair, they were calling themselves the Breakfast Club, and I kind of put it out there as a joke, and then they kind of just went with it, and it's a real dumb name.
There were like 2 days where we called ourselves the Raffle Stomp Squad. So
That's also true.
that was also you.
I need to stop naming stuff. So yeah, I'm really tired though, and I got a lot of video games to catch up on, so I'll just keep doing that. If y'all need me for anything, you know, I guess team mascot now.
I mean, we still need a social media manager.
Yeah. Woo.
I mean, you could. I guess SuperCon is gonna be a thing. Maybe you could actually figure out how to make that a thing.
Yeah. I'll I should have time now. My schedule's it's well booked, but I should be able to figure it out. Work you guys into my schedule and get that working on. Yep. Like I said, I'm just gonna go catch up on video games, and I'll talk to all of you later. And I think Rose just kind of awkwardly leaves the room.
She can't teleport away anymore.
Yeah.
There's an awkward.
Yeah, it was probably like an awkward, like silent where she just kind of sits there for a moment and realizes, oh shit, now I actually have to leave. And then like gets up, grabs the bag of Lay's in the pantry, and then leaves.
So I don't know what I was expecting, but I don't think it was any of that.
Nothing Rose does surprises me anymore.
Killed the person.
To save a lot of other people.
Is that right?
Is it wrong?
I thought that that's not what we did here.
I don't get the impression that she had any other choice. Sometimes we gotta choose the best of the worst options. Doesn't make us bad people. Just makes us people.
The chorus in the background seems to agree.
Jeez.
I don't know what he wants.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
But shouldn't we try to go above and beyond and try to make sure that everyone is safe? Not just the good people, but also the bad people?
Yeah. Yeah, we should, but unfortunately it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes bad things happen.
But we don't have to be the ones that do those things.
Rose made a choice to protect a lot of people at the expense of one. I don't know if the other option was better or worse, but it's not the one she took, and we're all still here, so.
For now. I'm going to go to my room.
And Lucas goes off. And deeply troubled about many things, begins to do research on, like, starts to like attune his instruments, start looking at timeline things. I'm looking, like, he's like, I haven't been looking at the fourth dimension.
What's your you've got the Kirby Craft ability, right?
I've got Alien Tech, Kirby Craft, and Belong in Two
Oh
Worlds.
no, is it Alien Tech that lets you like use your do something
impossible? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that move.
Okay. I also want to do that again later before prom.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll roll it now. Partial 7. So that means that on a miss, or that's not a miss. What's the partial? Wait, on
and
a hit. Sorry, you create a device that does something impossible once and then it fizzles. Sorry. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so I think this person. So what are you kind of seeing this device doing? You want it to like some sort of sensor that can pick up like temporal effects on the
Yeah.
dimension.
We're
Okay.
looking at like this thing that everyone's talking about. What Rose is talking about, these time bandits are trying to like fix the timeline. What's wrong with the timeline? What is Irma doing? And what has Zeitgeist done?
Yeah, so I think what you get seeing so I think you get this like brief kind of like on this display that you hook up, which whatever tech that you have that you patched work together.
You know, I think it looked like some Mass Effect 1. I think it looks like that Prothean spire, just like the very first section, like when does anyone remember like when Shepard gets the vision and it explodes?
So long since I've played that game.
Yeah, it's basically just like a obelisk essentially.
Yeah. So I think you get this. You said this. You get this like diagram. There's something else. The word that I was looking for, but I can't find in my head right now. But you get from your sensors essentially this dimension has been like fractured into two like diverging timelines, but not so much like they're branching off, but kind of like there's a pocket formed in the middle where the two have diverged, where the end result and the beginning result are still the same.
Mm-hmm.
And where you guys are at right now is kind of like on the bubble, kind of on the down end of that. And what's happening based on like your calculations and the probability and stuff is that, and what you get is things are happening in reality that are trying to right those effects, and good or bad, one of those dimensions is going to like overwrite the other. So whatever choices that are being made right now because of the time, the things that Irma and Zeitgeist have done to affect the timeline, one of those is going to happen, and whatever happens is going to like in a ripple effect kind of rewrite the rest of history. So that's what, and you get that's what your father figure was saying in their message earlier, is that this dimension is in threat of collapsing because another one is the something is threatening to overwrite it. One way or another, the timeline is changing, just whether it's going to solidify as something close to what it originally was or something completely.
Oh, I can tell what it was originally.
Huh?
Can I tell what you said? Like,
yeah, I think
do I actually know, or is it just like binary? Like, I don't know what's.
I think maybe it picks up on like certain events. Like again, I think it's really like scattered. You're not getting a lot to because it's a ton of information, but like little things like, you know, sports teams not winning their championships, like from that sort of thing to like bigger things like Ian's brother dying in due to gang violence, and then living and then dying again, and those like three compounding events, like trying to find the right timeline. And so that like that's kind of gone back to the way it was before because of what's happened, kind of corrected things, but there are other things that are much different than they were before.
This is wishing he checked this before he did his bracket, number one.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so, I don't know what I can do with that info right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can just in that scene of him just kind of sitting back in a chair, like exhausted, just kind of looking all these like readouts and trying to figure out what he's going to do next.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Ian, Olivia, anything else from the two of you? Okay. So that's Thursday. So I think we'll go ahead and go to Friday, the day of prom. School, everything same as normal. Anything you guys are planning to do before prom?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to I chatted Morgan if she said yes to Steven. And she chatted me that she did say yes, or Kiki would say yes. So understanding that Kiki wants to do this, Lucas is going to attempt to build using alien tech, a kind of automaton with like like an iPad for a face, but one that where she, Kiki can, let's say, like with her phone using like Google Cardboard or something, she can actually kind of have a VR experience of being at prom, and will actually be able to control the automaton and kind of dance at the party. Is my goal to have some sort of like surrogate robo babe at the party.
Okay, I'll have you roll to use your alien tech on that.
Okay. Rolling now. That's a full hit with an 11.
Okay.
So on a 10 plus, it works exceptionally well. I can choose one. It works exceptionally well, or you get additional use out of it. I'm just going to go for exceptionally well.
Okay. Yeah. So you, I think you get that set up earlier in the day. You give me like a free period or something. You work on that to get that ready with Steven. Yeah.
Just had a thought. If I did an additional use, she could like show up next session in the final conflict.
Just Robo Kiki just like rolling along behind all of you.
Well, you know what? Next session isn't guaranteed. Nothing in this life is. So I'm just going to live life in the moment. I'm just going to say it works exceptionally well right now.
Exceptionally well. Okay. All right. So what else happens on the day of prom? Anything from the cool kids?
I'm assuming you're talking about me. So,
what do you guys do day of prom?
I spend a long time getting ready.
Okay, you guys want to skip to the evening of prom? Nothing during school. No other
I imagine school. There's just maybe. So my prom didn't actually do prom kings and queens, so I don't know if the voting is something that happens at the event or is leading up to it.
Mine was leading up to it,
Yeah,
but
mine was too.
yeah.
So making sure votes have been cast.
You go around threatening people to vote for Olivia?
No.
So sweet.
But yeah, just
listen, buddy.
No. Yeah, I think Ian probably would have already picked up his tux and outfit by now. And so yeah, is basically set.
Okay. So, oh yes, Ryan.
No, nothing. I can wait. That's fine.
No. I want anything else before we move along.
Well, I just like what Shannon and I are coordinating what we're wearing. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to get into the descriptions of clothing, so that's gonna be perfect. So, I want the scene. First of all, I want to know: are you guys all like renting a limo as friends and like going together, or like all getting
Yes.
a ride? Okay.
Olivia doesn't give anyone the option
Okay.
to say no.
Okay.
Okay.
The answer is yes.
All right. So the Daytons splurge on is probably the only family with money out of this
We're
group.
super rich.
You get the limo. I want the scene. I want two scenes. So I want the scene of Ian, I guess, like picking up being with the limo, going to pick up Olivia at the Dayton residence. So what does Ian look like?
So Ian is wearing a tux, but in line with the heroes and villains prom theme is, at first glance, someone might think it's just tuxedo mask, but rather than Tuxedo Mask, there are subtle differences and color variations, including there is I think it's called the Domino Mask, is blue, and the bow tie, I said that weird bow tie, is red. And his jacket has super long coattails. He's got some, very fancy gloves on, and it might take some thinking to do, but once people get there, they realize, oh, this is Lambast's early costume, but formalized.
I like it.
And I had to confirm on Google that Tuxedo Mask was who I thought it was.
Yes, from Sailor Moon.
Yes, from Sailor Moon. I was like, oh yeah, that would be cool if he. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so we've got. So you walk to the door. Do you have corsage and boutonniere and stuff ready? Okay,
Yep.
so you have the corsage and Olivia has the boutonniere. But you walk to it, ring the doorbell, and a door opens. And it's Dr. Dayton, and he goes, Ian, come in. You look great. Coming in, I think Olivia's almost ready. And shuts the door. And as he turns, and the two of you turn in unison to see Olivia walking. Do you guys have stairs? I'm assuming you guys have a 2-story.
We have to.
Yeah. To
The
see
scene
Olivia
won't work without stairs.
walking down the stairs as the lighting is kind of perfectly framing. What does she look like?
There's not a second floor. She was just on the roof waiting.
I
installed stairs.
No, I psychic construct some stairs.
Yeah,
I have superpowers. What are you guys talking about?
That's right.
exactly.
That's right. Yeah, we do. Yeah. So I'm following the theme, the superhero theme. I think Olivia has this very pretty, pink gown, and it's very nice and very expensive and very sparkly. And her hair is all like done up and everything, and she has the little white Fantasia mask. We're cosplaying ourselves to prom.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's what we're doing, very subtly.
I can't wait to see Lucas's costume.
Yeah.
We're very subtle and classy, and that's why we went first. Because the other one's gonna have way more payoff.
It's just entirely naked with a mask.
Yeah, with
I think the first thing Ian says on seeing Olivia is, I like what you did with your hair. And then goes through the whole like, oh yeah, here's the corsage, and
I think hearing that, like, Dr. A just kind of pats you on the back a bit. And
sweet boy.
yeah. You go through the awkward fumbling to put on. I think Dr. Dayton's got his phone out. It's like taking pictures the whole time, like asking you to stop and like as you're pitting the boutonniere on or putting on the corsage, and then has the two of you take like pictures by the fireplace. But no, let's do pictures over here by the we're just outside the kitchen, but we don't want to get the kitchen and the appliances in it. Just like kind of over to the corner. We have to move the pictures of Grandma, and it's just like a huge affair for the next like 15 minutes.
I am so traumatized right now by my own prom memories that you're bringing back.
Right?
now is it just us there, or is there also like the cheer squad and their dates and stuff?
Well, so that's what I was going to ask. So my assumption is you guys, there are probably some people in the limo that you've already picked up.
Yeah.
And I think Dr. Dayton says, do you want any pictures with your friends? You can bring them in here and we can do some more photos with them too, or
Maybe like one outside by the limo.
Sure. I'll take a couple so that I can send them to their parents too, and I'm sure they're going to want to see us. So yeah, let's go outside. He like turns on the porch lights and realizes that's not enough lights, and there's some yard lights too. He goes around kind of fumbling. This one's out of batteries, and he has to like run back inside and get like new batteries for it and stick it back in the ground.
The man is like, I'm looking at Ian. The man is like the head of an entire scientific organization.
And he's still a dad.
Please help me.
Dad's
Just
gonna
drive
dad.
away. Can we
I'm
just
drawing on
drive
some
away.
very, very real memories at this point. So
So I think if you're bringing everyone on the limo, I'm gonna
Yeah.
say that Lucas
Yeah.
and Shane were already inside.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So everybody starts stepping out. I want to see Luke. I want this visual from Ryan.
All right. So as we step out, we're actually wearing matching outfits. Kind of wrapped around our whole forms is kind of a poofy bread. We have kind of lacy lettuce and tomato meat going down the center as we step out as two large sub sandwiches, aka heroes. And because Shannon's a big old nerd, she was real into that idea.
I love Shannon.
Oh my god!
And I think
I can't
Shannon
wait
is
to-
really great.
And there's a big dowel rod like kind of through like the cushioning in the back that has like a massive oversized olive on it and everything.
Listen, if I don't win prom queen, it better be Shannon, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And we're holding hands.
You guys do, and I think Dr. Dane is like filming with his camera, sees it. It's like, oh, you look so nice, and I'm trying to remember who. I guess who else would be with you guys right now? Probably Nicole.
I was gonna
No.
say, who was that one girl that I was friends with?
Yeah. Do you have like? I'm trying
Oh,
to think who else would
Is
you.
there also, you know who, and you know what?
I
Steven
literally.
I'm assuming he's talking about Steven and
Steven and Robo Kiki. Sure. Well,
Oh my god, I was popular once.
yeah. Yeah, I like the idea
Ugh.
of, and there's probably like you guys made friends like Josh and Melody, and like there's
Oh,
yeah. Chad's
Nicole.
there.
And
Chad
I think
is there.
Chad and Nicole
Yes,
you
Chad.
go together.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you guys have not made friends with like Jessica and like
No.
Graham are like not there.
Ew,
Okay.
no.
No.
Oh no, Chad had a girlfriend named Amanda.
I'm scrolling
Never
back.
mind. Yeah,
It was
Chad had a
Amanda.
girlfriend. It's Chad and Amanda, and then Nicole and picking another name.
Jared.
Yeah, I was looking to
It's
see
a
if
name
I had
I just
anyone
made
else.
up.
Yeah, we'll go Josh and Melody, Nicole and Jared.
Who's Miranda? Was that one of your friends?
Mm,
I
I don't have Miranda on my list of NPCs.
Miranda's
I-
totally there.
have a Miranda. I think I can't remember who she was.
Miranda and
I think it was one of your.
Stephanie,
tell-
who I just made up, are going to prom together.
Oh, okay, nice. I think she was a friend of me.
Okay,
I don't know. if
Anyway,
she's
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
but yeah,
there. It matters
so
to me.
seeing sub sandwich, Lucas
Heroes.
And heroes.
and Shannon, yes,
Please.
heroes, Lucas and Shannon stepping out, and then last but not least is Steven kind of okay just hold on a second, there may be a disconnection here, and kind of there's like a slamming noise.
Don't worry about the connections. The best fiber optics connecting her to this.
This isn't, I have to make sure this isn't like a fully articulated like robot.
No, it
Imagine
is.
this is
No, it is.
is
because
it? Is it?
It is an impossible thing that I have done. And I
Okay,
want her
because
to
I
be
was
able to dance.
imagining like something sticking at like I'm trying to remember. I think it was an episode in Community where it was like basically like a broomstick on
Okay, yeah.
Roomba.
That's what I was gonna suggest. Like if this didn't work out so great, but
Okay, it's a fully articulated
Now I'm
like
just imagining Pathfinder, but with just like Kiki's face.
yeah.
right
I mean, like
here,
a Pathfinder, but with like that screen like up here, like where the head is, and but yeah, Kiki can dance.
okay.
Like,
So
from the comfort of her own home.
what I like instead is like oh god I think I'm stuck on this, and then there's a few moments like awkward and like limo kind of like shudders a bit as Robo Kiki steps out and it literally is like carrying Steven and like set Steven down.
Oh my god,
And-
Dad! I swear I'm actually cool.
Your dad kind of looks at you and says, "Sure you are, sweetie." It says, "You and your friends now stand together. the sandwiches move in a bit, and is that Kiki? Oh, hi Kiki. You need to scoot down you're a little tall, and we're getting kind of a glare off the chrome. And it like kind of sentiment like getting really like in just the perfect angle, and then takes probably 40 pictures.
And just reach behind something behind like Kiki's like John's like start fiddling with the monitor settings to like reduce glare.
Yeah.
Dad, we have to go.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll just if everyone could just give me their parents' phone numbers, and I'll just text their and everybody's already getting in the car, getting back in the limo. So, okay.
I'll handle it later. Love
right.
you.
Love you too. Just let me know when you're coming home. Don't be out too late.
Slam.
You guys get in the party bus. Let me get the party music going.
Is this not the party music?
No, it's not the party music. This is the party music.
Turn it up.
It's like tonight it's gonna be
I mean, it's not a problem if they don't play that song.
no.
I don't want us to get flagged for copyright, so I won't. We can all imagine that this is the new Black Eyed Peas song.
DJ Hellmouth?
Not again.
That is what this playlist is. So you guys get in the limo and take off to his prom. There's music playing, and you're all like laughing, and I think you guys have a pretty like solid group of friends here, and I mean, again, without assuming too much, I imagine like Josh and Melody were really close with Rose, and so when she went and disappeared, I imagine there maybe would have been some like commiserating and like a bonding between her friends, because they don't know that she's alive still or around. And then Chad and Amanda, I think, are like in the couple that has been together for like a long time now, and they're in the corner kind of like talking to each other and stuff, and Amanda's like constantly trying to like fiddle with the bow tie that he's wearing, make sure it's on straight, and like every time she looks away he keeps kind of like loosening it. And Shannon is I think she's really digging Lucas and is kind of like making jokes and like keeps making sandwich puns that I can't think of right now.
Let us dance together.
Yeah, I like that. Lettuce was pretty much the only word that I could think of.
And then there's
let's just move on.
May I have this dance?
Yeah. Until you make it
That's
to
a bad sandwich.
you pull in,
Just mayo and lettuce.
you pull into the school parking lot.
I'm an alien. Cut me the smallest of breaks.
You see the gymnasium lit up by the spotlights that they've set out. They've taken from the football stadium and put out in front of this, so it's like crisscrossing and giving this like kind of movie like exterior to it. And there are the teachers that are kind of chaperoning and like running the event all outside, and all the limos are pulling up as kids are running out, and everybody's making their way into prom. And I don't know if you guys had this experience, and this was my experience at prom, that they had to do like the like checks and stuff for the like to make sure everybody's in like proper attire and stuff for prom. I don't know if that was the thing at public school.
Was that a thing at public school? Not only was that a thing at public school, we went through metal detectors to get into prom.
So I think there's a lot of like checkpoints and stuff, and people getting lists, and then you guys get hung up for a little bit while there's a long debate going on about whether hero sandwich costumes are prom appropriate, until finally the line gets so long and everyone gets so irritated that they just let you in. And you enter.
I was about to say Kiki was getting held up in the metal detector.
Yeah, and then I think Kiki gets hung up on the metal detector, and people are
like, no, this is Steven. This is a literal robot. What are you doing?
And then there's a lot of like, he would have the robot girlfriend, and like
He would. Oh, weird science.
So you finally get into the main gymnasium now, which has been decked out in and decorated, no expense spared on this prom decor. You have all the tables surrounding the dance floor, not being DJ'd by DJ Hellmouth, by his younger brother MC Hellscream, who is taking care of the. I'm just making that up. I think they have a real DJ there. But it's this like superhero fair. All the walls are decorated like city skylines, and they're like clouds hanging from the ceiling with like red caped superheroes kind of flying amongst them. And then over in one corner is like this giant robot, like paper mache robot that has like lasers kind of shooting out of it.
Does it look like Galagano just a little bit?
Yes. Something between that and the robot from The Incredibles is what I was imagining. And yeah, so the prom and the festivities begin. I don't think it takes very long for any of you to get to cutting a rug. I think the hero sandwich costumes are the talk of the gym, given the very literal interpretation you had on
the gym, then the parking lot.
Yeah. So
yep.
I'm thinking, let's anything you guys want to do. You're in prom. What do you do? I want awkward interactions between you and your dates. Go.
I mean, don't we normally get that with every interaction between Nina and Olivia?
Yes.
Speak for yourself.
I mean, I think Ian is, at least at first, he's more nervous than usual. Because I mean, this is the first dance that they've actually been to together. But
yeah.
But you know,
Go on.
I'm yelling over the music. Ian, I have a question. I'm not gonna yell the whole time, but
yeah. What?
so on the phone, what's his face? Dave?
Yeah,
Call me
Dave.
your girlfriend.
I mean, that was on him. You introduced yourself as just the prom date. But I'm trying to think, have they really not had this conversation yet?
Nope.
I'm going to say no. Yeah.
Is that what you told him? Or is he just making assumptions?
I mean, he's a lawyer. He works with evidence. But it's also, you know, he's deducing. I mean, I never said anything, but also,
Yeah, I guess you never have said anything.
yeah, I mean, I'm just putting my foot in my mouth right now and just gonna keep on chewing, but, well, shit, I guess I never had actually said anything. Olivia, do you want to be my girlfriend?
Ew, no, gross. Just kidding. Yeah, okay.
Okay, glad we got that sorted out.
Oh my god.
I mean, I guess the label is important. I don't know, this, you have very clearly caught me off guard with this right now.
Less talking, more dancing.
Yeah.
At the exact moment, Chad comes up and sort of like slaps the hand on both your shoulders and says, "This is a really good prom, right?"
Yep.
Yeah,
Super-
totally.
Good. I'm gonna go find Amanda. I don't know where she got off to. And just goes like wandering off.
Chad's gonna Chad.
Chad's gonna Chad.
Okay, so you guys start dancing for the rest of the night and carrying on. Any other sandwich antics from the sandwich couple?
I'll wait till a slow song.
Okay, well, let's do this. So
Right now we're just having fun. We're just dancing, and there's a couple there. I think there's at least one moment where like she wants a drink, and I surreptitiously have one arm go out and wriggle through the crowd, like several feet away, and grab one and bring it back, and just say, like, here you go. I had one right here for you.
So I think you guys are like sitting at the table, resting your legs a bit after dancing for a while. She basically said, "That's so nice. Thank you." I have to say, I wasn't really. The popcorn caught me off guard. I don't know what that was about. You'll have to explain that to me sometime.
Well, I've done a lot of Googling since then, and it was a pretty big misunderstanding, I must say. But what I'll tell you what I thought it meant. I thought it meant that I think you're really special. I think you're so smart, so much more so than most of the people here. You are clever and you're funny and you're also sweet. And I don't think that you would kill someone just for the greater good or whatever. You seem like a good person like that. And, I also think that, I guess what I'm trying to say is that you're someone that is worth saving.
She's kind of like stops for like awkwardly kind of holding her drink in both hands, and then takes a sip of it and says, "That's probably the nicest thing anyone said to me." I'm really glad that you asked me to prom.
I'm too.
These costumes are really hot, though. By the way, I brought a change of clothes. I'm probably gonna change at some point after they announce King and Queen. So just saying.
Of course. I also have a change of clothes. What are you wearing?
She says, I did get a dress, just in case.
I too got a dress just in case.
Okay then. She laughs at that, and again, not sure if you're joking or if you're serious.
So let's say, all right. So I don't know if you want to save that for something else, but like if she goes to change, I'm gonna text Olivia. You mean like, what is a nice dress? Like. And like, just like, I mean, we can do this in person if you want, but just like, help me. I need to find a nice dress. I need to change clothes.
I just look at my phone. I need to go talk to Lucas for a second.
Okay, yeah, I'll go get us some drinks.
Great. Let me go find Lucas.
Okay, you find Lucas. Yeah, let's say the prom kind of carries on, and they're getting, I think it's winding into like the last hour or so of prom, and so I think she got to the point where she says like, I'll be right back, and she's gonna go change into what like her actual like prom dress for it.
Hey,
I love you. Thank everything because you're here. Thank you so much. I really need your help. I need to change into something uncomfortable. So I've got a lot of different ideas for dresses that I can wear. I've got them right here on my phone. What I don't want to wear what anyone else is wearing here because I know that's supposedly gauche or something. I don't want to do that. If you can These look right. I can do them all. Any ideas, please?
Yeah, I mean, and they're all great dresses. I don't want to tell you that you can't wear a dress because they're all great. I just want to make sure you actually want to be wearing a dress.
Savannah said she was going to. She brought a change of clothes. She's going to switch into a dress, and I don't want to be the only one who's not wearing a dress.
Wrong name, but
Did I say Savannah?
Yep,
Yeah.
What's her name? Shannon.
Shannon.
Yeah.
it's
Anyway,
fine. Everybody can be my date. Okay.
Shannon.
Let's just I guess we're doing the whole like stereotypical date like prom queen and king thing. Let's just do a very like understated suit. I find a good picture on my phone. Let's be stereotypical and normal and not draw a whole lot of attention.
Okay. You think this is something that she would like?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you just send me the link to that, or send me that picture on my phone?
Yeah, sure. I will text a picture to Lucas.
okay. It just occurred to me that like he doesn't know what the back of it looks like, and it would just be funny if it was just nothing. But I'm not going to do that. Okay, cool. So do that. You say,
Thank you so much, Olivia. I've made a lot of very silly mistakes because I've misunderstood a lot of things along the way. But this helps me out very much.
I hope it goes really well.
I hope so too. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So you go and change. I'm imagining just like a black, like kind of classic black tux. Or what were you showing, Olivia? Or Lucas, what do you end up with?
gosh, I thought about just doing a regular tux. That probably should be the one I do. But who's that person like the Oscar choosing the like tux gown? That was like that dude.
Oh,
What's that dude's name?
oh no, I'm a bad person. I don't remember. Hold on. Hold please.
That thing is amazing. Oh yeah, just Google tux gown and it comes up.
Billy Porter.
Billy Porter.
With the tux top and the gown skirt. Is that what you're talking
yeah.
about?
Yep. Yeah. Just.
Yes.
Yep. That's it. Yeah, that's it. So
It's the
it's
actual
kind of
best thing that could come out of this.
yeah. That's it.
Okay. So I think you go and change, you come out. I think the two of you I think you both come out into the hallway at the same time because she left before you to go get changed and she actually has to change. You just had to take off the hot dog costume and morph in. If you actually had one, if you weren't just morphed into a hot
No,
or
that olive
a
was
sandwich
really
man.
annoyed.
But I think you both come out at the same time. And I think you're both wearing the tux gowns.
Amazing. That's freaking amazing.
And yours is black and hers is white, or like silver. And you kind of both stop for a second, and then she just cracks up laughing down the hall, and doubled over belly laughing at that, and then she runs over and she says, "You look great. Let's get in. This is going to be the best prom ever." And she just leads you into the room, and the two of you start dancing in your new outfits.
Yes.
That's amazing. Okay.
I mean, any good, and Britney Spears will tell you, any good show has several costume changes along the way. So
Yes.
we're halfway there.
Yes. So here's what happens next. As prom is again coming to the within the last hour now, the music is cut and they prepare for the announcement of of prom king and queen. And everybody's gathering near the stage, and Steven and Robo Kiki, who have been dancing the whole night, and I think from the little bit of Kiki you've been able to see, like her face, I think she's been having a lot of fun, and there have probably been some interactions and like chatting and stuff amongst all of you, and so they line up on the stage, and one of the prince or the teachers gets up and starts like talking and stuff, but there are a couple of rowdy boys, probably like football players near the back of the crowd that are like making jokes and like still kind of roughhousing a bit, probably have like a flask or something tucked into their tucked in their suits, and have gotten a little bit overexcited about prom. And one of them, I think you just catch this at the last minute before you have the chance to do something. You notice one of them, like they kind of like start like laughing to each other, and one of them has like a cup of punch, and starts walking up behind Lucas, and you see as they start to reach out the cup of punch to like pour over Steven, behind Steven, and they start taking the cup of punch to pour over Steven's head, and with lightning fast reflexes, Robo Kiki like grabs onto their wrist and goes to push pull them away, and the guy goes like ow, ow, ow. And as he does this, the punch spills on Robo Kiki, and there is a little bit of a short, and you watch as she goes and then freezes for a moment, and then the robot kind of like shuts down and just kind of and Steven stops, and everything stops, and the music just like any music that was playing like cuts to that point, and everybody looks over, and Steven is just like dumbfounded and staring, and you look at him like staring at this jock in front of him, and his fists are clenched, and he just says, he's like,
I'm picturing Arthur's fist.
yeah, like kind of like that. You just see his fist clench as he looks down, and he goes, why did you do that? And as he does this, he reaches out and like punches the guy like in the chest, like a weak like Steven punch, but as he connects, the guy goes flying across the room and sails through the crowd and slams into one of the tables and just goes like somersaulting over. He's probably fine considering how drunk he was, but it does catch him off guard, and everybody kind of freezes for a moment. And then Steven kind of looks at his hand and starts to shake a bit, and you watch as his skin begins to turn a shade of red, and he begins to sort of grow in size and tear at the suit that he is wearing, which was a little baggy for him, but is now like ripping as his muscles are growing, and he is growing in size until he is this hulking, red, monstrous looking figure, and he lets out a roar and goes, I think he grabs the other two rowdy boys and then just leaps through the ceiling. What do you do?
Heck, we should probably go, right? Nudging Olivia and Lucas, who are nearby.
Yep, time to go.
I quickly, I think what I do. Am I strong? I don't know if I'm strong. I keep forgetting. It wasn't one of my powers. It just says you're pretty tough. That's not strong. Okay, so I just like take Shannon, and I like quickly usher her out away from underneath the ceiling that's been destroyed and is probably dropping stuff onto the ground below. So I get her to safety. No, I'm gonna say like, oh boy, what do I say?
Shannon, I have to go.
I think we all need to go.
I had a really fun time tonight. I think you are amazing. You are just a paragon of everything it is to be human. And I would really like to text you later if I can.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go. And like other people like fleeing the gym and stuff. This is happening. And I think she turns away for a second to somebody bumps into her.
I pulled her in and do a heroic smooch.
Okay. And as you kiss her and then pull back in this very like chaos around you, I think there's like the helicopter flies overhead and the spotlight carries across. Probably not yet, but no, we'll go with the helicopter flies overhead. They're ready at this point. And she looks up and kind of like dazed for a moment. And I think she just reaches and she like grabs the back of your neck and she just kisses you back for a good like 5 or 10 more seconds. And then as the two of you kind of pull apart, she just goes, well, okay then. Text you later.
All right. And then just kind of immediately, I can fly. What? I keep the gown on for this. Just like, just straight up from the ground, just like, and then spiral out through the hole in the roof.
Okay,
Okay.
I guess we're just going out then.
Yeah. Didn't really have costume change, but
That's a rookie mistake.
this is a big enough school. Not everyone knows who we are, right?
Also love the
Maybe
idea.
you
of-
speak for yourself.
Also love the idea. Well, Fantasia's already dressed up like Fantasia, right?
Ish.
And you're dressed up like a Sailor Moon superhero. You're good. You're golden.
Yes, but there are also people
I'm kidding,
who
I'm
know
kidding.
what we're dressed up as.
All right. Well,
Following
I'm-
Lucas.
Okay. You guys go flying or jumping through the hole in the ceiling, and you look around. You see the screaming crowds heading towards the parking lot. But as you turn your head the other direction, you see towards the football fields a large red shape impacting like a crater or like a meteorite in the center of the football field. And you see the artist formerly known as Steven carrying the two rowdy boys fleeing that direction.
okay. Is he in his current form in the buff? Is he wearing anything?
I think he's got like the Hulk style, just the like somehow his pants have expanded enough to stay on him in this monstrous form. But the rest of him is just rippling muscle.
Okay. Okay. So I think what my first thing that I'm gonna try is just trying to reason with him. I feel like that's not gonna work out, but it feels like the thing that you have to do. You have to do it in the show to establish that you couldn't do it. So I'll be the first one to try, and I'll get my head punched. So would this be a comfort or support or a provoke or a directly engage? If I like try to zip in front of them and go like, like.
What do you say?
It's like.
No, Steven, calm down. We're having a very fun dance back there, and you are kind of ruining it. So, how about you just put down the rowdy boys, and we can, just kind of chill and relax.
The monster form again has this like kind of almost bat-like face and like these red pointed ears coming off, and again just like rippling, like thick neck, muscle build, and he looks at you kind of growling. Stephen gone, anathema now. And he takes one of the rowdy boys and just chucks them behind you, like over towards the stands. Now, what I'm going to have you do, since you are there, I don't think he could be reasoned with at this point, but I'll give you the opportunity to do something to react to his actions.
Okay, so I think I'll just be real simple and just like turn myself into a net to catch the flung jock.
Okay. I think that would fall into like defend someone.
Okay. All right, so defend a savior. All right, cool. So I'm gonna roll that right now. And I roll a 9.
Okay. 9 is gonna be good. So, but you do have
Looking it
points.
up.
Yeah. For NPC threats.
It costs me. Exposing myself to danger escalates the situation.
Yes.
All right, so I'm assuming that's your choice, right?
No, I leave it up to you.
I'm trying to think of how it could escalate. I guess it could escalate the situation if, like, no, this, I don't. Making him matter is not interesting. We'll just say that it puts me like, I like kind of ground myself in the ground near him to create this net that catches. So I'm kind of within he could reach me and grab me or something.
I think this is what happens. So you extend out, creating this net, and you catch him, but the force of the throw kind of pulls you backwards, but you lower, kind of like slow him down, cushion the fall, until you just gently kind of set him down in the bleachers that he was heading towards. And then suddenly you feel something grab your legs in a vice as he grabs onto you with the other hand, and then just like whips you around the other way, and with a crack like a whip, Lucas goes sailing through the air and then wham, slams onto the other side of the football field. I'll have you mark one condition for that.
Okay. I'm gonna do angry.
Okay. What do Ian and, or I guess in this case, Lambast and Fantasia do?
Oh boy, we should probably get Graham out of there first. Is it Graham?
Is it Graham? It's probably Graham.
Yeah, let's say one of them's Graham.
I saved him on Halloween, so.
All right, guess that means it's my turn. So I think what I'm going to try to do is, as Anathema is still reeling from having thrown Lucas, trying to snatch Graham out of his other hand, and trying to do it in a way that isn't going to like impart too many G's on poor Graham, because he is not super endurable.
Okay. I'm trying to decide if this is defend someone or directly engage. Yeah, I'll say directly engage works, because one of the things you can pick is take something from them. Because you're more, yeah, let's go directly engage.
I am pretty good at that. That is a 12. So yeah.
Okay. So yeah, 12, you get to pick 2. Resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity, impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to take something from them, and in this case, avoid their blows. So I managed to, using my football skills, run in, grab the football, and get out before he can swat me.
Yeah, I like that. So yeah, you kind of shoulder check him a little bit, knocks him off guard as he is currently gripped onto Lucas, having just fallen through with that swing. You grab Graham from his other arm and duck as a fist kind of swings behind you as a follow up to you running past, but avoiding his strikes. Cool. So both of the rowdy boys are safe. I think you set Graham down, and Graham just immediately starts running in the other, like as far away as possible. Fantasia, what do you do?
I guess I'm going in.
Okay.
Huh. Yeah, so I have to, for my Nova moves, I would like to charge up my powers as I
Okay.
am running, I guess, towards this giant monster. So I have to roll plus my conditions marked, which is +4.
Holy shit.
If this isn't good, then I'm just gonna give up. Okay, so roll an 11. So I get to hold 3 burn, and I would like to run in and directly engage
Okay.
all my burn that I have.
Roll to directly engage.
Okay, I don't know if this counts, but I have this move that I took so long ago and I've never gotten to use it, which is Suck It, Domitian, which is when I stand strong while dramatically under fire, I can roll Savior instead of Danger to directly engage a threat. And I would like to make the argument that I'm dramatically under fire, given that that's one of my 2 Doom conditions is to stand against things by myself.
Okay, sure. So yeah, if you mark a Doom track, I'll let you do that.
It's not that much of a difference, but maybe?
Oh.
Yikes. Okay.
I rolled a 3
Okay.
instead of the 2 that I would have rolled.
So here's what happens. You charge up your powers, you're going to spark in this energy. And as you come in to like blast at, like getting into range of anathema, like building up this charge and about to send it straight at it, he misses with the strike against Lambast, but spins, seeing you coming forward, and just carries it with even more momentum into you. And he levels you pretty good, sending you skidding across the ground, like sliding and slamming into the goalpost at the other end of the football field. I'm going to say that's a powerful blow against you. So I need you to roll plus conditions marked.
This is the thing I have to roll low on, right?
Yes.
Well, those who are about to die, I salute you. I rolled a 10!
Not what you wanted to roll.
No, it's not. It's what I wanted to roll a second ago.
So you have to choose 10 plus. I love this. So you have to choose one. You either have to remove yourself from the situation, flee, pass out, etc. You can lose control of yourself and your powers in a terrible way. Or you can take 2 options from the 7 and 9 list, which is to lash out verbally, inflicting a condition on one of your allies, or provoking them full hard reaction, giving ground, giving your opposition an opportunity, or struggle past the pain and marking 2 conditions. I don't think it's an option for you
I
at
don't
this
have
point.
2 conditions left to mark.
Yeah.
I would like to take the most interesting option narratively, which is to lose control in a bad way.
Okay. How do you see yourself losing control of your powers in a terrible way?
I mean, Olivia's pretty much a walking nuke at this point, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think there is some very powerful, forceful explosion of some kind that goes off.
Yeah, I
And
think
that
as
she
you
probably does not fare well on being the center of that, but that's
Yeah.
for later. That's for later. The explosion is for now.
yeah, well, losing control of your powers, that's or overexerting yourself is another Doom thing for you, right?
Oh, sure, yeah, it is.
Yeah, so I'm gonna mark another Doom track.
Cool.
So what happens is as you hit the goalpost, you begin to stand up. You feel this like shudder run through your body, and you look down at the powers you were charging up, and they are sparking and like feeding off of you, and growing and growing and growing until there is this like explosion, like a star on the other side of this field, and it doesn't stop. Like, it keeps exploding. Like, there's this dome that is just surrounding you as there's this this psychic like pink sparkly or purple sparkly maelstrom that is surrounding Fantasia right now. Just obliterating everything around it. Okay, so seeing this, Lucas and Ian, what do you do?
I think Lucas just shoots a look at Lambast. All right.
Yeah,
while Lambast
There's probably
is
some screaming happening.
Yeah, no, I
just
think-
to clarify the situation.
Yeah, no, I think Ian is glancing. What is Anathema doing in response to that? Anything yet?
I think Anathema is
Dying, I bet.
No, I think Anathema is like staring at it. I think Anathema looks like kind of like a bull seeing red. Like is it looks like they're about to like charge at this power, like to meet it head on.
So then I think in that case, Ian Lambast is going to, take like a second to think, and then is going to rush into the maelstrom and try and get to Fantasia. And he would go into the maelstrom, but try and position himself between where Fantasia is and where Anathema would probably be charging.
Okay. I'm gonna have you roll to. Are you more? What is Ian's goal here? Is it just to get in the way of Anathema, or is it to actually like engage this power coming off of, or save Olivia?
Yeah, work to save Olivia. Which step one is make sure Giant Red Bulldozer doesn't pancake her.
Okay. Here's what I'll say then. If you're focusing on the pancaking, then we're gonna say that it's gonna be roll to defend someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go roll to defend someone.
That
Before you do,
Okay.
flying through the air towards you, Lambast, is an enormous diamond maul that is just going to like fly towards you, and you can catch it, and kind of glittering with rainbow prism stuff inside. But like, I'm gonna take the density of diamond and just make myself an entire like big ol' hammer for.
Okay. So yeah, you grab the like Thor's hammer, it flies to you through the air, and you catch it. You go charging into the maelstrom. Since you're not protecting yourself in the maelstrom, and you're like focused on Anathema, I'm going to say you mark a condition, from the pummeling. Lucas, you don't. You're diamond right now. You're cool.
Yeah. Oh, it would make the most sense to mark afraid, but mechanically that's I'm gonna mark afraid.
Okay.
Because it's like, oh heck, Olivia is exploding.
Anathema comes running into this explosion and this field, like seeing you all there, and starts charging through it. They are pummeled by it, and I think instinctively, considering this was the source of the pain that triggered this, I think a lot of your like focus is being directed through where Ian and Lucas are now, like towards Anathema, and they're kind of struggling against it, still charging in your direction, Lucas, and they come into like, I guess, melee range of you at this point, and like go to level down like a hammer fist on top of you. What do you do?
So is this where I would roll to defend?
Yeah, I would say go ahead and this would be a good time to roll defend.
Which I have. So I get +2 because Olivia is the Bull's Heart Love, and I have influence over her, and I have Bull's Heart Defender. When you leap to defend your love or rival in battle, roll +danger instead of savior to defend them.
Cool.
So this is +5 to the roll.
Nice.
Can I have a +1 because I'm mating?
I'll give it a +6. Let's do it. Let's go all the way.
All right. Hopefully this works out. Although, oh boy, what did I roll? So I rolled a 4. It only gave me up to a +4.
Oh, interesting.
There's the maximum.
So actually,
okay.
so that's actually a 10 then, because it didn't give you the full 6.
Oh yeah. Well, no, because what I did was I have the 3 for danger. I did the +3 in where it asks for the bonus.
Mhm.
So I think it cuts off to 4.
Yeah, you rolled a 4, and then I gave you a +6, so you
Okay.
rolled a 10. Yeah,
I mean, I'll take the 10.
yeah. I'm not capping you at +4. The roll 20 is capping you at +4.
Gotcha.
So
You're not my god, roll 20.
yeah. Roll 20 just get to choose how I run my game. So what is going to happen is that's a full hit on that. I'm going back to defend someone. So you keep them safe and choose one. You can add a team to the pool, take influence, or clear a condition.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go ahead and clear the condition I just took.
Sure.
So clearing afraid, because now it's like I don't have time to worry about myself or any of that. I just need to deal with what's in front of me and save my friends.
Okay. So anathema comes like with a hammer blow down on you and Olivia and hammer Lucas, and you meet with the diamond maul that Lucas has bequeathed you with, and like connected midair, and there's this shockwave that carries through the air at that moment, like as two unstoppable forces meet each other, which completely negating them, and the two of you back off. Anathema is kind of caught off his step there, and I'm going to say, Olivia, you have a chance to do something with this power that you are losing control of.
I think I get knocked out of hammer form from
Okay.
that. I thank you for hitting that hard.
That's fair.
That's
fair.
I just get like like he's holding me and then just kind of like
Yeah. Which I'll say, I think if there's something here, what I will do is I'll give Lucas a chance to assist with or do something here before I go with Olivia, because you didn't really take a full action. You were just doing the hammer thing.
Oh, that's fine. I like the idea. I'm just really dazed right now and
Okay.
kind of like falling from the sky a little bit.
Okay. Then Olivia, what do you do?
Well, then I'm gonna try to channel it towards
Okay.
Anathema, away from my friendos, in a reality storm, which is the whole reason we're in this mess in the first place.
Okay.
I did
that's
get
you.
to hold 3 burn, so
Yes.
great.
And, Reality Storm, how does that work again?
Yes, I channel a destructive burst with my power, spend 1 burn to directly engage rolling freak instead of danger.
Mhm.
I will cause unwanted collateral damage unless I spend another burn, so I'll go ahead and spend 2 just to make it less bad than it already is.
I'm gonna take away the option for you to not cause collateral damage given the circumstances, because you don't have full control.
Great, then I just do 1.
Okay.
Oh no. This is my only good roll. Please be good. I rolled a 10.
10. Okay. So I think here's what happens then. Connect in midair with the hammer, both Lambast and Mutaboy kind of caught off guard, both of them dazed for a moment there, kind of falling away a bit as you lock eyes with Anathema, formerly Steven, and you channel this dome kind of condenses down, like collapsing down into you as you gain control of it for a second, and then you just, like, as you're gripping it tightly, just uncurl your fingers and just let it shoot forward, losing control of it in a condensed direction, as this shrieking maelstrom of psychic energy goes firing forward straight from your chest into Anathema, and as it connects, it almost like deflects or refracts off him as he's trying to hold up his hands and resist it, and then like one arm comes flying back and he loses about 10 feet and he's trying to push against it as hard as he can, and you're watching the him like burning a bit and then healing almost instantly from the burns, and Lucas and Ian, the two of you are like in the middle of this, and I think there are these explosions coming off as she is sending this psychic blast into him. What do the two of you do in this moment as they're kind of locked in this temporary stalemate?
Are all the jocks clear of the?
Yeah, they're gone. They're gone. They're safe.
Okay. As we're just kind of dodging out of these like you know, spiraling, like coalescing energies that are like ripping up the field and stuff like that. I don't know. What do you want to do, Lambast? I think like Lucas is just like dancing right now, trying to like not get hit for the moment. Kind of looking towards you.
I think my plan is to try and knock. Well, talking didn't work. I think we just need to knock him out. See if that fixes him. And I think with...
What do you want?
Can you trip him up?
And then just without a word, just Lucas kind of like runs for a little bit and then starts flying like low to the ground. And as he's flying, his form kind of like begins to kind of like elongate and stretch, and is going to try to around Anathema's feet and legs.
Okay. And Lambast, what are you doing?
Mutaboy's going low. I'm going high. I'm going in for a Superman punch.
Okay. So what I'll say for both of you, I'll say for Lucas, this sounds more like, I'll say it sounds more like wield your powers.
Okay.
Or not wield your powers. That's not what I'm thinking of. That's an adult move. Unleash your powers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Ironically, so I can leash.
Yes.
That's a 9.
Okay, perfect. So 9, mark condition or GM will tell you how your effect is unstable or temporary. What would you choose?
I want to say it's okay. I'll mark afraid.
Okay.
And because I think getting up close to Anathema is terrifying, but not only that, I also see Olivia and just like the kind of power that's coming from her, and maybe I also kind of imagine like the look in her face maybe is like a little bit not like normal, and there's something not at all Olivia there, and I think I'm just like kind of I'm afraid.
Okay. And Lambast, you are you're just going for a roundhouse.
Yeah. Going for the knockout punch.
Okay, you got to roll directly engage.
Do I have any of my bonuses? Don't think so.
Does this give like set Lambast up at all? My move?
Yeah. I'll give him a plus. I'll give him another +1 on this one, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, because this isn't actually defending Olivia anymore, so I don't get all those bonuses. Or it's not technically defending her.
Yeah. I think she's doing a good job of defending.
That's still a 12.
Nice. Okay. So here's what happens. This blast, this ray is pushing Anathema back across the field. Olivia, this energy explosion, you're beginning to feel like the last like dregs of it, and it's beginning to run out, and you see the beam is condensing itself, and Anathema is pushing against it, and he's losing steam too, until finally I think there's a moment where it begins to stutter, and you're beginning to kind of lose vision a bit and getting a bit of that tunnel vision as you have exerted your power far past what you've ever exerted before. And then in that moment, as the beam cuts off, the body of Lucas goes wrapping around the legs of Anathema, like binding in the lower torso, just as he is given ground and that resistance is gone, and he staggers forward. And as he's staggering forward, Lambast launches himself off the field, kind of almost flying through the air vertically with the horizontally with a tackle, and then lowers his shoulder and comes in with an uppercut straight into the jaw of Anathema, who's also falling forward. And there is a crack which almost shakes the branches and trees all around the stadium. And it in a moment there is just silence and stillness, and then Anathema goes flying into the air, somersaulting over 1, 2, 3, 4 times before slamming into the ground. Ian, you're worried you may have like actually fractured something in your hand from punching that hard against something that hard. But as you hit the ground, kind of tumbling, and then coming to a stop against the far goal post, Lucas, you've come unraveled and kind of reform yourself. Begin to reform yourself in the center of the field. And all of you look in unison to see this crater in the center of the field where Anathema landed. And in that crater, you see Steven.
Wearing an enormous pair of khaki shorts.
Yeah, wearing an enormous stretched out pair of almost like covering his whole body like a blanket and unconscious.
I think seeing that, just doing a very quick glance and be like, okay, he's not like spurting blood anywhere. Ian is going to run over to Olivia.
Yeah, he looks untouched. He's totally fine. He's just asleep.
I'm not imagining Olivia's upright for very long.
I think Olivia's unconscious.
Yeah, I think there is like one moment of like surveying and then she's just out.
Yeah, hopefully Ian got there in time to keep her from bonking her head as she fell.
Dramatically.
Please, super strength.
I think she holds herself up, taking a couple steps forward, like towards the center of the field before she begins to fall. You catch her just before she completely collapses.
Lucas kind of turns into like kind of a jelly beanbag sort of thing, kind of like underneath Steven, and kind of lifts him up, and like the tentacle legs like crawls out of the crater, like carrying.
That would be the scariest thing I've ever seen. If
carrying
if it wasn't so sweet.
Okay.
And then like from the kind of like jelly mess, just like Lucas' head just kind of pops out the side, and is like,
I think we should get him away from here.
Yeah, now let's get both of them back to the base. We should probably put him in the cell until we know what's going on.
Whatever you say.
Either way, we gotta go before the authorities show up. This is...
I just realized I crawled out of the crater. I can fly. I always forget that I can fly. So I just turned into like a little nimbus cloud of jelly cloud, and then like everyone can hop on, and I can
perfect
shuttle us all to the next spot.
I love it. Okay. You all sail back to the sanctuary.
Olivia looks really bad right now.
I think as we're going, Ian is, constantly, trying to, not like, doing the thing where it's shaking gently, but like Olivia, just pretty much the whole way back, hoping for some kind of response.
I think Olivia's hair, from about like halfway up, is just like silver. And yeah, she's just unconscious for now. And that's where we're going to end our session. Y'all heading back to the base. And we will pick up next time for the finale with graduation and the super con.
And find out who prom queen and king might have been.
Never gonna find out. Never gonna find out. Another prom ruined.
It's just like it's your destiny to ruin my life.
I know.
You
I
took
think
homecoming queen away from me.
Okay. Here's what we get. The last scene is you guys are flying away, and we see the rubble of the of the gymnasium, and we go into the like destroyed interior and tables
It's just
turned
one
over.
hole in the ceiling.
It's destroyed. And we see everything kind of scattered around, and then we just get the scene of a single white card kind of fluttering down from the ceiling and then resting on the stage just by the mic podium. And there on the card, kind of halfway pulled out, it says, "This year's prom king and queen is," and the rest of it's cut off.
Yeah,
The
because
end.
like catches fire and just like.
Sean sleeping on the couch tonight, judging by that face.
You took homecoming queen from me. You have taken prom queen from me.
Oh man. That was good. Good game, guys.
Olivia doesn't actually care at this point because
No, I think she's
she
up
might
here
be dead.
So we will be back in 2 weeks for a finale. So that'll be on the 11th of April. So come watch. Between now and then, like we've said before, just recapping one more time, we've got Lords of Misrule on Saturday at 3:00 Eastern Time. Next Thursday, we will have an episode of Matropony. The following Monday, on the 8th, we'll be doing the continuation of our Hidden Shrine of Tomoa-chan run through. And we will have the next episode of this on the 11th. I think that's it. Next episode of Cyberscape. Again, if it doesn't go up tonight, we'll go up tomorrow. And yeah, I think that's it. Any other announcements? Oh, and then always tune in and check out and be on the lookout for more announcements regarding our new show, All Myths Are True, our new Monster of the Week adventure run by Savannah.
Me.
So yeah. Well, that's it for now. Unless any of you have anything. Nope. No. Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us, for watching, and we will see you soon. And until then, good game and good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.
Night, internet.